My family didn't have any proof that they were exposed to COVID-19 until another family member had a confirmed case. See, the tests for people who have already been vaccinated are really hard to find. My family couldn't get one, let alone three. And that's neither here or there, because it gets worse. Where was I? Oh yes, New Year's Day. Because half of my family was sick as a dog, we opted not to do Christmas this year. Instead, we were going to do New Year's Day. We almost didn't do our belated Christmas because another family member started feeling ill. But some of the other members of the family insisted. My folks thought that since they had already gotten Omicron once, they were unlikely to get it again. So we did our combined Christmas and New Year's in a single afternoon. Oh yeah, and that sick family member was later a confirmed COVID case. But here's the problem. I am not a patient person. I was hoping someone would use that extra time and get something off my Amazon list. You know, actual Christmas presents instead of handing me a bunch of gift cards and saying, do it yourself. Am I a bit of a hypocrite? Yes. Yes, I am. I gave people gift cards, but it's a little different there. My dad is impossible to shop for, especially since the BBC didn't have a nature show on during the 2020-2021 season because of reasons. That meant my go-to present for him was out of the question. My mom stopped reading books I got her for some reason, even though she adores Terry Pratchett. And my sister asked for gift cards. She needed something really expensive that none of us could afford to get her on our own, and this way she could pool all the money together and get it cheap-ish. If she had asked me for 10 cases of Coca-Cola wholesale, I would have done it, because I totally have ways of making that happen. If it's something my friends and family want for Christmas and I can afford to do it, I'm gonna. I don't judge, and I don't ask questions. Well, unless they're asking for a Blu-ray copy of Hudson Hawk, then I have plenty of questions. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't like being around my sister, but I love her. And every year I make the effort to get her something she wants. I know I'm a fucking nerd and I'm a little hard to shop for, but as I have every year since I was 5, I make a wish list. Some years they bother to look at it, some years they don't. There are 3 good things I can say about our combined New Year's and Christmas. 1, it cut down on the number of days I have to put up with my sister this year. 2, I'm batting 13.5 out of 16 on if people like their Christmas presents or not. The 0.5 is because half of one person's present was a gag gift. The other 2 haven't been delivered yet. 3, I was home in time to watch Doctor Who: Eve of the Daleks. Things didn't go bad until after that. I went to go put my hearing aids in the charger and this one connected fine. The other one wasn't charging no matter what I did. Then I noticed the electrode was a little bit pushed in, which would mean a trip to the audiologist. And of course, it had to be the left one that was going all wonky. The left side, where my backup hearing aid is essentially non-functional. The left side, which controls the Bluetooth pairing, which makes Watching TV very difficult, and editing a YouTube video impossible. Not to mention it broke on a Saturday, which meant the audiologist wouldn't be open until Monday. I made the appointment for the earliest I could get it, but I couldn't sleep. So I did the next best thing. I finished watching Hawkeye. I kid, it's a great show. Mostly. But it does have one flaw that plays a huge part in the rest of this story. You know that scene where Clint and Kate go to that shady shop in Chinatown and the lady says she doesn't ordinarily deal with that kind of thing, but they get their hearing aids back by the end of the afternoon? Sorry, but no fucking way. That's bullshit. Modern hearing aids are highly sophisticated devices that are custom built for each person. Since we see the wires and frames are destroyed, Jesus H. Tap Dancing Christ, there is no way they're getting that back by the end of the day. First, you would have to have ear impressions made, and that alone takes about 20 minutes. Then they have to dry, which can take a few hours. Most audiologists don't have their own on-site lab for the next stage of the process. They take those and ship them off to another company, which will make an inversion mold, which is then used to create the final frame. Then the wiring has to be put in and all the pre-programmed mic settings loaded onto it. That takes about a day. Assuming Clint has rechargeable hearing aids, which most people do these days, it takes another 4 hours before they can even find out if their repairs worked. That's assuming they know what they're doing. If they don't, they aren't fixing them, period. Clint would have an easier time repairing them himself using, I don't know, silly putty and duct tape than he would giving her $300. Or he could take them to Hank Pym or Bruce Banner, who have degrees in electrical engineering. They might be able to do it in a day. But real world, Clint is looking at least a week's repair time. Probably longer because it's the Christmas season. So was I. To make things worse, the night before my appointment, it snowed. In order to get to my appointment by 10:30, I had to leave the house around 8:15. DC roads are hell on snow days. What is normally a 45-minute trip can take double or triple that time. Shortly after I left, the audiologist called and told me that my appointment was canceled. So why didn't one of my folks go to the bus stop and get me? Because they didn't answer the phone. The caller ID said name unknown, number unknown, spam. When we get a call like that, we don't answer. My bus was late. Metro was still down on my end of the red line, so I had to take a shuttle bus, which was also late. But I had planned for all of that, so I got to the audiologist right on time. No one was there. I assumed they were running behind because of the snow. So I waited, and waited, and waited, and waited. After 20 minutes, with the wind chill so cold it made Niflheim seem like the surface of the sun, I gave up. Normally when I go to the audiologist, I cheer myself up by getting myself some shawarma. But I didn't feel like walking across 3 blocks of slippery ice. So I went across the street to get myself some French toast. And of course, once that was done, the roads had cleared up. Getting home only took an hour. I found out what happened, but I couldn't get an appointment to even turn them in to be fixed until February and wouldn't be getting them back until March, which is totally unfucking believable. I tried playing nice, but got nowhere. Now I hate myself for doing this, but I couldn't go 6 weeks without having a fucking conversation with people or doing the job I get paid, if only $1 a month to do. If you think I should be getting paid more than that, go to patreon.com/ParodiEraFilms and give me a raise. Anyway, I behaved like an asshole. I told them I paid for my repairs in advance. In a way, I did. My hearing aids have a 2-year warranty. If they didn't give me a damn appointment pronto, I would take drastic measures. In spite of having a non-transferable warranty, I'd take my business elsewhere. Not only that, I would Yelp bomb them to oblivion. Instead of coming up as one of Washington, D.C.'s most respected audiology companies, they would come up as #1 in complaints for the Better Business Bureau. I was totally willing to destroy them when the 10:30 canceled. But when I got there, they were double booked. Not only that, the audiologist I was supposed to meet with was caught in the infamous Virginia traffic pileup and wasn't coming in. But even though it would have made her 15 minutes late for her appointment at another location, the audiologist who was there gladly took care of it. So we're all good. And hey, the city of Rockville cleaned their sidewalks, so I even got my shawarma. But I hate the lesson that teaches. I hate that doing things the right way and following the rules gets you treated like fish. And to get the service you already paid for, you've got to act like a bigger pile of fish. I mean, I know that's the way of the world and always has been, but it shouldn't be. So, to the people at my audiologist's office, if you're watching, I'm sorry and I apologize. But to all of you out there who are getting fucked over by customer service, just do what I do. Sure, you'll hate yourself for it, but at least you'll be able to hear yourself get so loud and angry that even Louis fucking Black tells you to turn it down a notch.